By the way, to Al, good morning, and how are you, faithful Captain Niner, coming to you on Thursday, February 13th, 2025, coming with the Captain and Coffee Morning Report. And, well, we got some stuff to talk about today. Kind of two bigger news stories actually came out, from yesterday where we had pretty much nothing to today where we had, yesterday where we had some pretty big stories come out. So let's go ahead and get into them. All right. So for the first one, I know we've been talking about, obviously, it's not new that Debo has asked for a trade and 49ers have granted permission to look for a trade. But per Matt Burrows, I'm not exactly sure how to say his last name. I think it's Burrows. Per him, who is a 49er insider, he gets a lot of good scoops. The 49ers are ready for Debo to be an ex 49er very soon. So, what I'm expecting is that probably within the either right at the beginning of free agency. Free agency starts the 12th of next month. Let me look it up right here real quick. NFL free agency date. Let's see. Let's see. Free agency starts. Where is this? March 10th. So, see, well, I mean, I guess it starts. Excuse me. So it starts the 12th. The 10th is when what do you call it? Where you can start talking, but you can't actually. It's not legal. You can start talking on the 10th, but you can't sign anything until the 12th. So that free agency technically starts on the 12th. Legal tampering, that's the term I was looking for, starts on the 10th, even though they're all tampering now. So that's a little over a month away for that. So I'm going to expect that something's going to happen with Debo to be traded right around that time frame, probably either right before or right after. So yeah, so that's what I'm expecting, and maybe even let's see, there's a cut date coming on Debo's contract as well. I think that's March 3rd, or excuse me, a payday, March 15th, I believe, is what it is. So yeah, more than likely Debo is going to be traded. And looks like this is further along than we had expected. I mean, we knew that it was definitely going to be a thing going into this offseason, but apparently either Debo and his team has found a suitor, excuse me, or the Niners have already made up their mind as far as what to do with him. And, like I said, they're just going to cut him come to, I think it's like March 15th when the contract, he has a payday for one of those things. But yeah, so again, this is moving a lot faster than I thought it was. I figured once we heard that Debo requested a trade and he was out there looking for a trade, I figured it would take a little bit longer than this. Apparently not. All right, so into the news that this one really kind of hurts. It also believes that both Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw will be gone in free agency. On this one, while I'm not terribly surprised with Hufanga, obviously he's had a few injuries and this and that, but he's missed a lot more time than Dre has in general. He's also like the more expendable of the two. This is a pretty decent free agency class when it comes to safeties, and this draft class isn't so bad either when it comes to safeties. We could save quite a bit of money by moving on from Hufanga, who honestly, as much as I love Huff, is on the slower end of things. And yes, he does play well. He is a Polynesian player. You know me and my Polynesian players. I love my Ufos, even though he's Tongan. I know he's not an Uso technically, but we have options that we can go out there that are going to be cheaper. He's going to attract top tier money to be a safety, which is money we could probably spend somewhere else. I believe I want to say it was somebody was saying that they were talking about Denver could be really interested in Hufanga. So there's that one. Now, the one that does surprise me is Dre, especially with the fact that Saleh has come back, and Saleh has been adamant about getting Dre back. But the talk is that Dre wants to lead his own team. Is that, nothing against Fred or anything like that, but he kind of wants to be the man. He wants to wear he wants what he's got to see. But he wants to be, he wants to be the center man. He wants to wear the green dot. He wants to be able to say, this is my defense. He wants to be able to spread his legs basically like Aziz did out in Tennessee. Or I guess it's Tennessee and now with Houston. He wants to be able to be the man. And while I understand that on the fundamental standpoint, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to know is like, am I really that good? Or am I really that good because, you know, I played aside Fred Warner for all those years? And I completely understand that. I was kind of hoping we could get Dre on a decent contract, but very incentive lative. Make get him. You hit these so many marks, we get so many money. We know how those contracts work. So a prove it year, if you will. Apparently, he seems to be wanting to test out the free agency more than what we think. But so again, that one's going to hurt a little bit more just because Dre is one of the pivotal parts of this defense. We were lacking something when he wasn't in. Those plays where he was in for that first half, we saw it again. Granted, Huff was back for the first time during that first half as well, but the linebacking core in general just looked so much more fluid. Everybody seemed to know where they were going. The intensity was back. The speed was back. Everything was working so well for that first half of football when we got Dre back. So we'll see what happens. Man, like I said, that one's going to hurt a little bit just simply because we all love Dre so much. He means so much to us. He means so much to this defense. And who on this team is going to be that person to step up to be that vocal person on the defense? It's not going to be Bosa. Bosa is just not a leader per se when it comes to stuff like that. That's not his forte. Maybe it's Demo. If you haven't looked on Demo has been talking a lot of stuff to a lot of people. Something about one of the rumors was one of the Debo going. I want to say it was to the Steelers, and then one of the Steelers' defensive backs came back, was like, "No, we don't need him," or something like that. And Demo just basically said, "Why? You afraid of tackling him in hit drills or something like that?" So yeah, so maybe it's Demo that steps up in that place. Maybe it's one of the younger guys. So we shall see what's going on. So that's the big news coming out of 49ers Empire today. And as usual, ladies and gentlemen, make sure if you're going to buy some goat fuel, fill yourself up with that. The goat backs it. Please use the link that I have for goat fuel in the description. Saves you 10%. Put some money in my pocket. It makes everybody happy when you do so. Again, please use that. Like I said, goat fuel. This side, goat fuel. I finally ordered some, so I should be having some here shortly, and I'll be able to try it and maybe able to give out some of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, but until then, looks like this afternoon, me and Media will be going live sometime between 4 and 5 for the 49er Media Captain Show. And nothing else for Niner Faithful Radio today, so that's it. So you will see my pretty face tomorrow morning. 5 foot high.